Hello dear students, I'm Katitan Bash Khankara. Today we're going to talk about chapter 1 section 3 elements. Okay, let's start. Before we know that in chapter 1 we learned about elements, Basha. We said elements, they are pure substances. They cannot be decomposed by chemical means. We said a pure substance, they cannot be separated by physical method. Pure substance, only compounds, they can be separated by what? By chemical method. But elements, they are pure substance, they cannot be separated by physically or chemically. Basha? By physical method or chemical method. Basha. Okay. Each element in the periodic table, they have specific characteristic properties. Each elements, they are different in the periodic table. Okay, elements, the hydrogen, helium, they are different because they have different properties, because they have different number of protons, electrons, neutrons. Later we will go into talk about Basha. This is important. Elements, they are organized according to increasing atomic number. In the periodic table, Abasha. So in the periodic table, elements, like here is hydrogen. The first element starts with the element that has one atomic number, Basha, which is hydrogen. The second element must have these two atomic number. Its atomic number must be what? Must be 2, because we say that elements, they are organized according to increasing atomic number. So the third element will be lithium. Fourth element will be beryllium. Why? Because its atomic number is 4. Basha, kawata alain element can, they are organized bun lesser according to increasing atomic number. lesser asasi زیاد buni atomic number can. Basha, kawata, this organization of element is called periodic table. Okay. Elements, they are pure substances, they cannot be separated by chemical means. Elements, they are different, they have different properties, and elements in the periodic table, they are organized according to increasing atomic number. Asha? So let's continue. Introduction to the periodic table. Agar say the periodic table can, if you look at the periodic table, there are squares, right? Let's explain read the periodic table, how you can read the periodic table. First, let's talk about each square in the periodic table. Each small square of the periodic table shows what? Atomic number, symbol, and name of the element. This is the first one, hydrogen. In the square we have a symbol. This is the element symbol of the element. Here, this is the name of the element. On the top of each symbol of the element, there is a number we call what? Atomic number. In chapter 3, we're going to learn that atomic number means what? Number of protons in the nucleus of the atom. Pasha? So, each square in the periodic table shows what? Atomic number, symbol, and name of the element. Okay? Names of the elements and their symbols. We know that elements, they have name. They have modern name, English name, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, zinc, gold. We have 118 elements, Basha. Most of the element symbol, if we talk about their symbols, they are derived from what? English name, and some of them, they are derived from older names. Example, hydrogen is the name of an element. So its symbol is H. H capital. So the H capital comes from the derived from the modern name, English name, which is H. Basha, we take the first letter and we put it as a symbol. Basha. Oxygen, its symbol comes from the English name, the name, and we take the first letter. But some elements, they have their symbols, they described by two letters. These letters, they come from what? Their name. Basha, English name. And we take for chlorine first and second. Guys, this is very, very important that when you write the symbol of the element, the first one always capital, second one is small. Actually, this is very important. For example, zinc, we take the first and third letter. First letter is capital, the second one is small. If you write it like that, that's wrong. Basha? Okay, let's talk about gold. Gold symbol is AU, but we don't have A and U in the name of, in the gold name, right? Gold. So where does this symbol come from? Guys, some of the symbols of the elements, they have derived from what? Older names. Basha? Gold is one of them. Look, elements with the symbols based on their older name. Ama modern name means English name. Basha symbol and older name. These elements, guys, these elements, their symbols, they are derived from their older name. Basha, for example, gold. Gold, its symbol is AU, but it has not derived from the modern name. It has derived from what? Older name. The older name of gold is Aurum. Basha. Another example, iron. Iron, its symbol is Fe, but it has not derived from the modern name. It has derived from what? Its older name, ferrum. So guys, to memorize the symbol of these elements, it's a little bit difficult than those symbols. Those elements, their symbols, they have derived from the modern name. For example, for hydrogen, the symbol is H. It has derived from the modern name. The modern name today we use it, but the older names, you are not familiar with these names, so a little bit difficult. So you don't need to memorize older names. Basha, what's important? You to know the name and their symbols. You don't need to memorize all the name of the elements and their symbols. What you must know here, what elements, name and symbols need to be memorized. Guys, these symbols, they are very important for chapter 7, also for chapter 3, for 11th grade and 12th grade. So please memorize the symbol. This is the symbol and what? The name of the elements. Basha, this is for group 1, group 2. There are some transition metals. Basha, so non-metals we're going to talk about. Basha, these are important. Please memorize their name and their symbol. For midterm exam also is very important. Okay, groups and periods. Guys, in the periodic table, we have groups and periods. What are groups? Sometimes we call them families. They are vertical column. Okay, vertical column from the periodic table, and there are 18 groups. Basha, from left to right. We start from left. Okay, 1 to 18. There are 18 groups. The what? The vertical column. Basha. So this is important you to know that each group contains elements. That's right. But with what? Similar chemical properties. Means those elements, they are in the same group. For example, group 1. These elements, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, and so on. These elements, all group 1 elements, they are what? Reactive metals. Okay, this is a property, reactivity. So all group 1, they are reactive. So they have what? They have similar chemical properties. So those that are in the same group, they have similar chemical property. For example, group 18, these elements, they have what? They are all reactive. So look, they have same or similar chemical properties. Okay. Also, we have periods. I think you have learned in secondary school. Periods from what? Here, horizontal row in the periodic table is what? Is called periods. Basha, there are how many periods? There are 7 periods. And physical chemical properties from left to right in periods change. It means, for example, lithium and fluorine, they are in what? They are in the second period. There are 7 periods, Basha. So lithium and fluorine, they don't have similar chemical properties. Actually, they are different in properties. So we say that physical chemical property change from left to right. They are not like groups. We said all group 1 elements, they have similar chemical properties. But in periods, they don't have similar chemical properties. For example, hydrogen. Guys, this is very important you to know which in the first period, which elements they are in the first period, how we can read it. For example, hydrogen and what? And helium, they are in the first period. Second, this is the elements of second period, elements of third period, elements of fourth period. Basha. Guys, if you see there, we have two, you see 2 lines series below the periodic table. What are they? They are called, actually, there are 2 sets of elements placed below the periodic table. We call them lanthanides. These are lanthanides, Basha, and actinides. Actually, we have placed below the periodic table to keep the table from being too wide. If we put these, actually their original place is what? They are in the 6th period and 7th period. Basha, actinides, they are belong to what? 7th period. Their original place is right here, Basha, between the element of 89 and element of 104. Why directly from 89 we pass to 104? Because between these we have the actinide line, these elements. Basha, look, 89, then 90, 91, 92, and so on. Okay, and also after 57, 72 comes. What does it mean? It means between these elements we have element of 58 to 71. Okay, then 72, 73, and so on. Why we have not placed in the periodic table? Because we don't want periodic table be too very wide. Look at here. This is if we put it in the periodic table, what happens? Why we called wide periodic table. So the periodic table is going to be very wide. Okay, let's continue. Types of elements. Actually, generally there are 3 types of elements: metals, nonmetals, metalloids. It's very important, guys, you to know where are metals in the periodic table. Metals, they are from left and in the center of the periodic table. Look, these pink color squares, these are metals, and the blue one, they are what? Blue one, they are nonmetals, and the green squares, they are metalloids. So metals, they are from left and in the center of the periodic table. Nonmetals, they are what? at the right of the periodic table. Look, these are nonmetals and also hydrogen, guys, but it's not in the right side. So metalloids, they are between metals. Look, these we have 6 what? Metalloids. Rasha. These metalloids, they are between, look, in the periodic table, they are between nonmetal and metals. Okay? Let's talk about metals. Metal elements, they are what? When you say a metal is an element that could conduct electricity and heat. Metals, they are good electrical conductor, they are good, they conduct to electricity very well, and they conduct to heat very well. Basha? Most metals, they are shiny. Basha? They reflect light. Also, we can tell them they are bright, or they have luster property. Basha? Luster. In chemistry, we say luster. Basha? Most metals, they are what? Solids, except what? Mercury, guys. Mercury is the only metal in the periodic table at room temperature, which is room temperature in chemistry we say 25 degrees Celsius, is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. They are all what? Solids at room temperature. So they are all solid. So solid metals, they have what? Ability of malleability. They have what? Malleability property. Means they can be hammered into different shapes. You know iron. Iron can be hammered and you can make different shapes. You know there are many things they are made from iron. Iron can be bent, can be hammered into different shapes without breaking, right? So also they have ductile property, means they can be drawn. You can draw it, okay? You can draw it into wire, like copper. Copper, it has ductile property, means they can be drawn into wire. Basha? Let's continue. Metals of group 1, guys. Metals of group 1, I told you that they are soft. Lithium, sodium, potassium. And it means they can be cut with knife. If you have a knife, you can cut a sodium, which is in group 1. They are solid, but they are soft. And also, we have chromium, iron, lead. They are very what? They are very hard. Okay? Most metals, they have silvery or grayish color. This is their color. Look at here. It's grayish color or silvery. Okay. So, and except gold is yellow and copper is reddish. Others, they are grayish or silvery color. Copper, if we talk about copper, guys, copper can be drawn into wire, as I said, and could conduct electricity and heat. We use coppers in wares, right? So copper, when it's heated, when you heat a copper, it reacts with air and it changes to green. Look at here. Look, when you burn, this is the copper. When you burn, it changes to what? It changes to green. Basha? These are properties of metals. Nonmetals, a nonmetal is an element, Basha, that does not conduct electricity. Does not conduct electricity and heat, Basha. Nonmetals, they are, where are they in the periodic table? They are at the right side of the periodic table, except hydrogen. Many nonmetals, they are gases, guys. Some nonmetals, they are gases at room temperature. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, right? Noble gases. Noble gas, they are nonmetals. We call them non-noble gases, mean group 18. I'm going to talk about it next slide. Okay, next 2 slides. Just bromine is what? Is liquid, guys. In the periodic table, the only nonmetal which is liquid is bromine. Actually, there are 2 elements. They are liquid at room temperature, mercury and bromine. Basha? So bromine is nonmetal and it's liquid. But sulfur, phosphorus, selenium, carbon, iodine, they are what? Solid nonmetal. This is important you to know. They have brittleness property. They are brittle. Sorry, they are brittle. Brittle means breaks easily. When something is brittle, means you can break easily. You know, charcoal, carbon, you can break very easily because it has brittleness property. They are brittle. Okay, guys, phosphorus, which is solid nonmetal, has 2 forms. 2 forms, okay? Red phosphorus and white phosphorus. Red phosphorus, okay, and white. But do you see we have stored white phosphorus in water. اما white phosphorus لكي شعلة green لا our بوشي. Why? Because it ignites, it burns in air at room temperature. And at 25 degrees Celsius, if you put somewhere directly, it ignites, it burns because it reacts with air, means oxygen. Okay, so these are nonmetals. Metalloid man here. Metalloids, a metalloid is an element, Basha, has some characteristics of metals and nonmetals. Okay, they are semiconductors. It's very important to know. They are semiconductors. They are not like nonmetals. They don't conduct to electricity at all. They are very poor to conduct electricity. And they are not like metals. They conduct electricity very well. So they are semiconductors. They conduct to electricity, but not as much as metals. All metalloids are solid at room temperature. Okay, that's easy. There are 6. Look at their pictures: borons, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, and tellurium. These are the 6 metalloids. They are all solid, Basha. Metals, they separate metals from nonmetals. What does it mean? It means in the periodic table they are in between. Okay, so they tend to be less malleable than metals and not brittle as nonmetals. Basha? They cannot be broken easily, means they are not brittle. Also, they are not malleable that you can bend, you can hammer into differentiate. They are in between. Basha? These are the name of the metalloids. Noble gas can man. Noble gases, actually they are non-metals, but they are very different than other metals. They are unreactive. So we say first, elements of group 18, we call them noble gases. They are generally unreactive. We say they are unreactive. They don't react with other elements. And they are what? They are all gases. That's why we say noble gases. Masha means they are all gas at room temperature. Also, they are non-metals. They don't conduct electricity. Okay. This is a picture you to know that the only mercury and bromine, they are liquid at room temperature. Masha? These are what? These are elements, they are gas at room temperature. Others, gray solids, gray squares, They are all what? Solid elements. Basha, just for your information. This is a video, Basha. This is section review. For example, in the exam, I might ask, use the periodic table to write name for the following elements. Basha, I don't give you the periodic table in the exam. You must know all elements. The name of the O element is oxygen, and S is sulfur, copper, Cu copper, Ag silver. If I give you the name, you must write the symbol iron, and this is the for nitrogen is N, calcium is Ca, mercury is Hg, and others. You have answers, you can read it. Okay, thank you, dear students. This is the end of the video. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful for you. Bye.